Well, bing bang boom, just like that. Zappa moves all in. Aces snapping off in the big blind. And this will put a dent in Zappa's stack. 7-6-4 is the flop. Turn is the 5 of spades, and that is so sick. Trips here for Mohammed. Thiago going to bet 2.4 million. We could see some serious fireworks here. DJ Triple says, did Dan mute his mic? No, you should be able to hear me loud and clear. I haven't heard a single report about the mic at all today. This is a huge hand here. Thiago betting 2.4 million and Mohammed calling the 2.4. His image is going to play a big factor in this pot. Mohammed showing a propensity to be a scallywag from time to time. And the turn is the 9 of spades. And Thiago moving all in and Mohammed snapping them off. What a moment this is for Mohammed. Don't blame Thiago there whatsoever, but it is a 20 million chip pot and he's facing his exit. Unless he hits one of the 2 remaining 8s in the deck, we will have our final 9. River is the deuce of hearts and Mohammed will be going to the FT with a massive stack of 32 million, which is good for 55 bigs. And unfortunately, we say goodbye to Thiago in 10th place. The KM lookalike coming up short. Antonio now with ace queen of diamonds. As all the time says, lots of action to come here. I love these finals, especially when tickets come in. Yeah, well, it does create a funky dynamic, doesn't it? Antonio can raise so wide with this dynamic. Yuri with ace king, and we've got action here. Yuri with a monster, and Antonio won't be folding this one. Antonio. $7.3 million more for him to call, and he's got so much chips against an aggressive rejammer here. He's going to be priced in. Standard enough stuff As all the time says, good luck at all at this table, but there can only be one. Indeed. Flop is Jack 7-9, 2 clubs. Turn is a queen. Oh, wow. Antonio whacking the turn here, and now Yuri could be our first elimination at this final table, and he is. Very disappointing finish there for Yuri. Hodak, nothing he can do. He got it in good. Massive favorite. Gets a horrific beat and leaves us in 9th place. All of this dynamic to what's happening here as well, people making nip folds, etc. It's just playing into Antonio's hands. And look at this, he's got 2 blackbirds sitting in a tree. In raises into Zappa. Antonio betting 1.6 on the ace-jack-9 board. Zappa defending with the king-8. And that looks like he's going to raise here, is it? He's obviously picked up on a tell or something. The queens are going to continue, and let's see what Zappa does here on the turn. He has picked up additional equity. Looks like Zappa has had enough of being messed around with. Wasn't expecting him to pull out this move until Muhammad was done and dusted. Zappa is now going to bet 6.6 million. And now Antonio has a decision. What a bluff that was from Zappa. Gets it through. Got to tap the table to him there. Getting the ladies to fold. Repping big on that board. Did have a straight blocker with the 8 in his hand, but that didn't faze him. Antonio won't be too phased though, still playing over 70 million. It's just really sporadic to see Zappa decide he wants to pull a bluff there. He must have had a live tell. Maybe that Peef can shed some light on the tell situation, what kind of a player he is. The silent assassin. Anonymously. Well, bing bang boom, just like that. Zappa moves all in. Aces snapping off in the big blind. And this will put a dent in Zappa's stack. Nats with the nuts, the pre-flop nuts, 31.5 million in the pot. Seven, 6, 4 is the flop. Turn is the 5 of spades, and that is so sick. Wow. The ace is getting cracked in spectacular fashion. The best he can hope for is an 8 on the river for a chop pot. Zappa going to eliminate next with the nut flush. Wow, what a hand. And Antonio with a monster here, especially three-handed. Zappa raising to 2.5 mil. Antonio wants to make it about 10 million here. He must have heard me. 10 million is the bet. Looks like Zappa wants to see a flop here with 6-8 of diamonds. And he does call. $22.4 million in this one. Big flop coming up. And Antonio just shoves all in on Zappa. Yikes. Look at the size of this pot now. 71.6 million. Antonio stutter stepping into a monster. Zappa 73% equity to win a huge pot. Turn is the 8, and that will seal the deal. 2 pair for Zappa. Zappa raising it up here with the ace-6 offsuit, and Antonio queen 8 of hearts. Zappa betting 3 mil. Antonio with second pair. Antonio calls again. Turn is the queen of spades. 2 pair now for Antonio. Terrible turn card for Zappa. Zappa betting 6 million this time. Antonio just going to call. Zappa trying to extract more value on this river, going for 10 million, and Antonio is just going to be calling. I don't see him raising, and I don't see him folding. So calling just becomes the play, especially with this much money already in the pot. Expect the unexpected. Always a surprise around the corner at Kings. Does decide to move all in. Obviously feels like he can get worse hand to call. Got 2 paired at 9, completing straight as well. 2 straights. The low end and the high end. Now Zappa can only really beat a bluff. This would be a huge call off. Although we are playing heads up, just so hard to find the bluffs here. And blinds are going to go up soon, and it will be 1 million small blind, 2 million big blind, with a 2 million running big blind ante. Zappa just needs to keep the foot on the gas, doesn't want to double his opponent up. And as for Antonio, he is being the overwhelming chip leader at this FT, and he's been the scrappy underdog since we got about three-handed. But he has not gone down without a fight. He is still well in contention here with 30 big blinds. This one's far from over. Does flop a flush here. Zappa with the king of diamonds. He's going to call. And that's not a great turn card because Zappa could lose a lot more money now. He's got top pair and second, no flush draw. W King says this might get bloody. It might, you know. And Antonio gets it all in here with Zappa. This escalated quickly. 105 million chips in this pot. Antonio, 84% equity. And if Zappa would have found a diamond on the river, it would have been all over. But as it stands, Antonio going to get a huge double up. And now he's back in pole position, playing 65 bigs to Zappa's 42. Zappa with a monster hand heads up here. Jacks, he's got the Jabracadas. Antonio with the 8-6 off suit. Antonio can make a straight here with a 7. Zappa with the overpair. Looks like Antonio wants to raise this one, raising to 11 mil. And that is the 7 ball, and it could be all over right here, right now. Antonio going to bet 10 mil. Zappa just with 15 mil behind. He just moves it all in for 25 total. And this could be it, folks. This could be the last hand of the night. Zappa just with 7% equity. That is all she wrote. Queen of Hearts on the river. What a day of poker it's been. 13 hours of a stream. Incredible stuff. So many fun characters to commentate on. Thoroughly enjoyed myself today. Thanks to everyone tuning in. I'm a very tired teddy bear who's going to get out of here and let these folks enjoy their glory. 70,500 euro for the winner. Not bad for the runner-up as well. Thanks to everyone. I will talk to you later. For now, I'm going to say my goodbyes. Catch me if you can. I've been Action Man Dan.